What's up, guys? Kool-Aid here, and today we're going to talk about the new pump action shotguns. Now, before I get started, I want to make sure that everybody is fully aware that there is going to be another series of pump action shotguns coming out in a couple of weeks with the next game update. It's very similar to what they did with the submachine guns. So the smart thing to do is to just wait on the next set of pump action shotguns, and I will do a review on those guns as well, and you can kind of compare the two and compare them against the semi-auto shotguns, which is mostly what I'm going to do in this video, and then you can make a decision on which one you should buy, if you should buy one at all. So what advantages do the pump actions have over the high rate of fire shotguns? And by high rate of fire shotguns, I mean the semi-autos and fully autos, excluding the jackhammer. I am not going to talk about that in this video at all because it is so specific to one empire and class. So what advantage do the pump action have over the high rate of fire shotguns? Well, they are going to fire 10 pellets at 143 damage per pellet. The other shotguns are only going to fire 6 pellets at that exact same damage. So the semi-autos and the fully auto shotguns are not capable of one-shotting any infantry that is at full health unless you get a headshot. So most of the time you're looking at 2+ shots with those. You know, the drop off starts very quick where you're going to have to start triple tapping and quadruple hitting people because they are shotguns, of course. So with the pump actions, you are fully capable of one-shotting people out to about 7 meters, and I'm going to show you guys this exact distance on screen, what it looks like. If you actually get center mass out to this range, you can one-shot people very often, and it doesn't matter typically if they're wearing nano weave or not. Now, outside of this range, it does become a 2-shot kill until you reach about 12-13 meters. Then you're going to start looking at 3 shots and above, and that's where your effective range in a shotgun pretty much tails off, unless of course you're using slugs, and we will talk about those later. Another thing to note about the shotgun, and this can be looked at as positive or negative, is that you reload each shell individually. So therefore you don't have to fully reload the weapon before you can fire it again. That is a way to look at it in the positive. Now, a way to look at it in the negative is that to actually go from empty to full, it is going to take a long time to reload this gun. It's actually going to take over 6 seconds with extended mags. That's with 7 shells. So to actually reload fully, it's going to take much longer. The advantage, however, is that you can shoot before fully reloading. Just keep in mind that you do have to center the weapon while reloading if you're trying to shoot, and if you run the magazine completely dry and you are reloading and you want to shoot, you are going to actually have to pump the shotgun to chamber that next round. So you actually hit the mouse button and then you don't fire for about a second later. It's something I hope that is fixed, because it doesn't really seem right that it does that, but it's something you also get used to just by using the pump actions more and more. So with that ability to fire while reloading and the potential for one-hit kills, what are some of the negatives that come with the pump action shotguns? Well, since they are pump action shotguns, they are definitely going to fire at a much slower rate than the semi-autos and fully autos. In fact, no matter how fast you can pull the trigger on the pump actions, you're only going to get a maximum of 120 rounds per minute. The semi-autos are going to do 250 rounds per minute, and the full autos are going to do 300 rounds per minute. So these guns you are going to want to be more patient with. You are going to want to line your shots up a little bit better, but you can do that because you're going to know that it's going to take you less shots before you actually drop the player. So I think the pump actions over the semi-autos and fully autos actually kind of reward accuracy a little bit more. That might sound weird considering that these are shotguns, but it's true. It does reward accuracy a little bit more over the semi-autos and fully autos, which you can rely more on just spamming the trigger. The other thing these guns sort of lack, that I already kind of mentioned, that kind of make up for that one-hit kill potential, is magazine capacity. You're only going to get 5 rounds per magazine, 7 with extended mags. So, the lack of shells is going to make up for that one-hit kill potential. Now, with that one-hit kill potential, those 7 rounds actually go just as far as the 10 or 12 you're going to get from the other shotguns. In fact, I often find myself getting more kills with these 7 rounds than I do with the other 10 or 12. So pretty much balances out, and that's kind of a wash once you consider all the factors on these. So those are pretty much the main things you need to know that differentiate the pump shotguns from the other shotguns that we previously had. The other things are pretty much the same. I did, however, not mention yet that all 3 new pump actions are identical, with the exception that the Vanu have no bullet drop, but have a slightly slower projectile speed. Now, if you are using standard buckshot, that is not going to make any difference whatsoever. However, if you are using slugs, Vanu might have a little bit of a leg up in that department. And slugs are what we're going to talk about next. Now, personally, I am not a big fan of slugs in my shotguns. I like to get up close and dirty. That's really the only reason I use shotguns, and that's the reason why I only use them on light assault. Now, I will admit, when I heard the pump actions were coming out, slugs did intrigue me a little bit, so I did some testing on these to see if I would actually like them or not. The thing I was most curious about was to see if these could have any one-hit kill potential to the body at all, and they absolutely do not. You can be standing point blank from somebody, and these will not one-hit kill to the chest at anybody that is not already damaged. Now, add that with the fact that these have no spread, and that they become inherently more inaccurate while moving around. That automatically makes these a lot less useful within 15 meters compared to the normal shot that you are already getting with shotgun. Hands down, the normal stuff is going to be better within that range. And that's pretty much what we thought. There's no big surprise there. Now, from that 15 meter to about 40 meter range, slugs are going to be a pretty decent option. They're going to be a 2-hit kill out to about that 40 meter range, is why I mentioned it. And after that, they're going to become a 3-hit kill, and this is talking strictly body shots. Now, slugs will 1-hit kill to the head out to about 25 meters, so that is something to think about, but I really don't like to rely on headshots, especially in close quarters with something other than a sniper rifle, really. But overall, I'm not a huge fan of slugs. I do think they are a little bit better in the pump action shotguns than they are in the semi-auto shotguns. But I will say I will not be using slugs on either of my shotguns. I think there's a better weapon for the job in pretty much any category, medium, long, or short. They might offer some versatility, which I think is what people like out of them, but I can say I'm just not really a huge fan. As far as the pump actions as a whole, I'm actually probably going to keep using it over my semi-auto. I don't necessarily think it's a huge upgrade or anything like that. I think it has a slightly bit more potential just because of the one-hit kill capabilities. But I truly believe this is more of a side grade than an actual upgrade. I think they both offer something a little bit different, and I think their negatives and positives really outweigh, or kind of weigh each other out really well, or balance each other out really well. So, even though I will be using it, I wouldn't necessarily say you have to go out and buy it or anything like that. Also remember that they are doing the second series, and keep that in mind. So, anyways, guys, that's pretty much all I have. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'll do my best to answer them. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. I will talk to y'all later.
Getting any?
Side.
Yeah. I was pretty close to topped off, as it was.
Is all the way up on that hill. Jesus.
Yeah, I'll just bring this up there and open it. I don't know, there's one's up there already. Shit.
What hill are we talking about?
The Sunday that's up on this hill doesn't have AMS on it. Or, yeah, this one does. Ours does.
Flank around, trying to get C.
Oh, where did that one come from?